Hello everyone, welcome to the video of CSS. Yeah, CSS means Cascading Style Sheets. Now I will explain the basics of CSS. Cascading Style Sheets is not a programming language, it is a styling language and it is used along with HTML for designing the web pages. Used for presentation and it is creativity focused. The syntax of the basic CSS is this is selector and we'll explain what is selector in now. In further slides, property 1, property 2, right? We need to give the values. For example, here h1 is the selector where h1 is the tag. For that property is color and the value is blue. Color for the h1 tag, color should be blue. Exploring CSS selectors. There are many types of CSS selector, namely universal selector, type selector, class selector, ID selector, child selector, descendant selector, adjacent sibling selector, attribute selector, and the query selector. So we will go through each one of the following one by one. First is universal selector. Universal selector selects all the elements that are present in an HTML document. This selector can be used to apply the same rule to all the elements of an HTML or XHTML. For example, star is the universal selector where margin is 0 and the padding is 0. The type selector. Type selector matches all the elements specified in a list with the given value to determine the element to which the CSS rule to be applied. The rule applied to several elements of an HTML or XHTML document are the like ones applied to CSS file, like here. For h1 tag, h2 type and the h3 type and the paragraph type, font family should be sans serif. Like this, we can apply type selector to the multiple tags. Next comes the class selector. The class selector allows you to apply CSS rules to the elements that carries a class attribute whose value matches with a class attribute specified in the class selector. Suppose h1 element with a class attribute whose value is intro. Here the class name is intro and the enter one. Applying CSS rules to all the elements that have the class attribute of the same value. The following code snippets show how to apply the CSS rule. Dot intro. The class selector is always preceded. Class selector name is always preceded by a period, that is a dot or full stop. Intro or their font family should be sans serif. Applying CSS rules to the h1 element whose class attributes contains intro as its value. Class selector means it can have multiple classes. Same class can be applied to multiple tags. To specify only to that tag, we can write as h1.intro font family sans serif. Next is the ID selector. The value of the ID attribute is unique within a document. Therefore, the selector is applied only to the content of one element. Following code snippet. Here, h1 ID is given as myEdit. Hello world. The following code snippet shows the ID selector, which is represented by hash symbol and is followed by the value of the ID attribute. Remember, class selector is followed by dot or period indicator where ID selector is hash and the universal selector is star. Next is the child selector. The child selector matches the element and that is an immediate child of another element. In the child selector, greater than symbol is used as a combinator as shown in the snippet. Like a child element is the immediate child of another element. Like TD should be bold, font family is sans serif. The combinator is a symbol such as greater than, less than and plus, which shows the relationship between the two elements. Next is the descendant selector. The descendant selector matches an element that is a descendant of another element. What is descendant element? Descendant element is an element that is nested inside another element. In case of descendant selector, white space is used as the combinator as shown in the following code snippet. Table B, font family sans serif. We will explore more selectors in further videos. Thank you.